When we come out here to these lands, they humble us. They make us think not so fast.
It's wild and it's rugged. There's an element of danger and an element of wonder. And the colors are amazing.
In Canyonlands, unhurried exploration allows time for surprising discoveries about the landscape, about an ancient past, about ourselves. Discoveries that become lasting memories.
Canyonlands National Park is a part of the ancestral territory of the Nuanglu people, or the Southern Paiute people. We still have connections to the place today as places that we return to make pilgrimages, to say our prayers, and to visit areas that our ancestors once occupied.
A lot of people don't realize that there's many different tribes in this area. The government put us on reservations and didn't allow us access to these areas anymore. And so we want people to know that even though we're not living here anymore, we're still a part of it.
By the late 1800s, ranchers used much of this area for grazing, followed by uranium-seeking prospectors in the 1950s. Others had a vision grounded in protection and preservation. After years of advocacy led by Bates Wilson and others, Canyonlands National Park was established in 1964.
We oftentimes get compared to the Grand Canyon, but while the Grand Canyon is almost twice as deep, canyons here are twice as wide.
I think people are attracted here by the scenery, but when they come here, they're faced with time and the history of our planet and all of the forces that had to come into play to create a landscape like this.
If you look at the rock layers, you can get that sense of, oh, I'm witnessing millions of years of time right before my eyes.
Erosion is what carves the landscape, and most of the erosion is caused by rain. When it rains here, the normally dry canyons flood, causing a mixture of water and sand to create a slurry that charges through the canyons and carves the canyon walls and cuts into the canyon bottoms.
Over time, geologic forces have created the unique landscapes and dramatic landforms of mesas, canyons, and spires that now define the districts in the park.
Canyonland covers a great expanse of land. It's about 527 square miles. It is made up of 4 districts: the Island in the Sky, the Needles, the Maze, and the Rivers districts.
Canyonlands is the biggest national park in Utah. People can find their own adventure here, and that can come in all sorts of shapes and sizes.
Island in the Sky offers many ways to explore the landscape firsthand.
At Grandview Overlook, you have the most expansive view in the park, looking towards these absolutely beautiful canyons that are the Green and the Colorado rivers making their way towards each other, where they meet at the confluence.
The Schaefer Trail Road may have originated as a Native American footpath. Sheep herders used the trail for moving their stock. Then it was expanded for uranium mining. Today, it provides a thrilling ride down to the layer of white sandstone along the canyon's edge.
When you are descending the Schaefer Trail, you are losing about 1,500 feet of elevation, and it can be quite harrowing, especially if you're on the passenger side.
Exploration continues around the White Rim Road, taking you deeper into the backcountry, where something valuable awaits.
In Canyonlands, you mostly will hear the sound of birds. the wind, you'll hear thunderstorms, but more than that, you'll actually experience silence.
The Needles district of the park is a little bit more south from Island in the Sky. It is primarily known for beautiful geologic formations, a lovely scenic drive, and lots of great hikes.
The landscape is carved into spires. I'd say they probably look a lot like skyscrapers in a sense. In fact, a lot of the early explorers likened that part of the park to a lost city. When you go to the Needles district, you're surrounded by these formations, so you're very much immersed in the landscape.
Striped red and white rock, fields of giant toadstools, looming stone monoliths. In the Needles district, a vast system of trails leads hikers through one of the most remarkable landscapes on the planet. But for all of its rugged grandeur, this desert is also incredibly fragile, with vulnerabilities that are easy to overlook.
Biological soil crust is incredibly important. You'll notice it's knobby black and sometimes even white on top. It helps absorb water and make sure that the big monsoon storms that we have don't wash away that really important soil. One footprint can make a huge impact, so we ask that folks stay on the trail and be really mindful of where you're stepping.
There is a complex community of microorganisms in biological soil crust, including cyanobacteria, mosses, and lichens that work together to sustain life in deserts across our planet. Another community, one of spectacular proportions, rewards those who are drawn out into the darkness as day turns to night. Stars, by the thousands.
On a moonless night, you can see the Milky Way tracing across the sky. And for that reason, it's a destination for people who are wanting to see the night sky as it was before the advent of electric light.
I grew up in a city, but even in that environment, my grandma had instilled in me the traditional teachings of Southern Paiute astronomy and our connection to the night sky. Understanding the sky will help us to understand our songs and our ceremonies and our stories. My favorite phrase is to say, "Banikiek Butsiv," look at the stars.
Other connections are more earthly, and in this desert environment, wherever there is water, there will be life.
Places like Cave Spring are very important because water is one of the most valued treasures within the desert. Springs are to be respected when visiting them.
It's like taking a step back in time. It makes me feel humble because I could sense and feel what my ancestors put there.
Evidence of people in this area over time is far-reaching.
The petroglyph and pictograph panels that are located in Canyonlands hold a very special place to the Nuangmu people.
The Great Gallery is a panel of painted figures in Horseshoe Canyon that stretches 300 feet across the canyon wall, with many of those figures being upwards of 6-7 feet tall.
Southern Paiutes call that rock writing. It was like our newspaper. It tells of someone's experience in that area.
It's also important to remember that when visiting these types of sites to visit with respect. Many of these sites are very sacred to many different tribes that have a connection to this beautiful landscape.
The landscape itself requires respect, especially in places that challenge, where isolation is the norm, and where explorers must know the limits of their own skills and abilities. The maze, a labyrinth of stone, solitary, rugged, and wild.
The Maze District is the most remote part of the park. And the visitors who do venture to the maze need to be very prepared for being self-sufficient and ready for self-rescue as well. But they also get the reward of immense solitude and very unique wilderness experiences.
There's no paved road going into the maze. If you want to get out here, you've got to drive hours on dirt roads and then hours again on rough trails. We manage the maze for solitude so that people can come out and experience what it's like to be in the desert alone, to hear that silence, to soak it in, to get that feeling of being completely detached from civilization.
Running through the heart of the park, defining the district boundaries, is water.
The rivers themselves are a district of Canyonlands. They're an environment that's defined by water in a very arid landscape.
Floating on a river that's carved this phenomenal canyon, it's taking you to places of incredible solitude in the heart of the wilderness. Water is the lifeblood, we have to have it. People lived along the rivers through the last 15,000 years.
A lot of our culture is based along the Colorado River, from clear up here in Canyonlands all the way down to California.
Rivers are very significant. All water is very significant to the Nuangwu people. It is a gift that is given to us as humans to sustain our life.
The Park Service mission is to preserve and protect these resources. We're keeping these places standing and in good condition for future generations.
I don't just go up to a site and start working on it. I go and figure out who was here first. They had to be scientists, they had to be observers. They were great people in order to live in a country like this.
To us Indigenous people, these are not ruins. We do believe that the spirits of our ancestors still continue to come and visit these spaces, and that is our connection to our ancestral line to these areas.
That's our teaching. They've never gone. It makes me feel good to have other people enjoy it.
Everybody is a citizen steward of the land and the resources.
When you come out to special places, just to give respect, go there to learn, go there with an open mind.
In Canyonlands, our senses become heightened by the curiosities and wonders surrounding us. In this desert landscape, how we choose to interact with the resource today will determine its future.
It's so important to have a place where people can come to feel themselves in the world, to not have the noise and the constant distraction.
Well, these lands are really important because it shows us a history that happened.
I think it's good for our psyche to keep these places wild.
Canyonlands is a place that I come back to time and again. It's probably my favorite place on the whole planet.
It's a big country, and it is difficult. It's rough, it's rugged, and yet it's very, very delicate. It is a natural place, and I'd love to see it stay that way.